Thank you for joining me here today, and what a beautiful day it is. And welcome to Mary is the co-redemptress to Ordination of Catholic Women. Now, I was called over 20 years ago to consecrate the Eucharist within the Catholic Church. However, it was also revealed to me that this would not happen until the Church was renewed. And God does not want me to become a priest in the present structure until it is transformed and renewed, not only within the laity's roles, but in particular in relation to the papacy's roles. Now, I have been praying to Mary about my call to ordination, and Mary has been helping me. And lately I've been praying to Mary about what topic, if Mary could please guide me to a topic that would help me with my call. And so I was looking through the various sites of the Vatican, Pope Francis, and I came across this site, 2019, and Pope Francis was celebrating the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe in the Vatican. It was saying that Pope Francis was rejecting the title of co-redemptress for Mary. So I thought, this is interesting, I'll have a little look at this. And indeed, within that Mass, Pope Francis talks about Mary not wanting the title of co-redemptress, that Mary is a mother, a woman disciple. And has no need of the title co-redemptress. Now, obviously, there were a number of theological circles that were calling for Mary to be titled co-redemptress within a dogma. As I read on, and Pope Francis was saying that such titles that are used in the litanies after the rosary has been said are titles that are given by children who love their mother. And he said that although we do give Mary these titles, it does not change the essence of Mary being woman and mother. Now, as I was reading this, thinking to myself, what was he saying to her when he is not even giving Mary exalted titles? However, I went on to other sites, and a little bit later that I received a vision from Mary. In the vision, Mary and Jesus were sitting in high-backed wooden throne-like chairs. Mary was sitting at the right side of Jesus. And Mary said to me, "How do you think Jesus felt? He is my son. Jesus is my son." And I remember thinking, oh, I never thought about that. I never thought how Jesus may have felt. I knew that she was talking about the article, how Pope Francis was saying those things about her and her titles. Well, usually when I'm speaking to Mary, it is only the vision of Mary that appears to me. But this was a vision of both Jesus and Mary. But later that night, when I went to bed, I was praying to Mary. And I was praying to Mary, please, Mary, help guide me in this way of this call. And suddenly, the vision of Mary and Jesus appeared again. Again, they were in high-backed, thrown wooden chairs, nothing fancy, nothing jeweled, and Mary was sitting at the right side of Jesus. And Mary brought the words that she had said previously to me in my mind, how Jesus had felt. And suddenly, Jesus turned to Mary on the side, so I could only see the side of his face. And he said, and Jesus said, "Thank you, Mother, thank you. Thank you for sharing in this salvation for me. Thank you for the pain and suffering that you went through for me. I want you to be honored forever within the church. I want you to be honored forever within the church, by its people and for its people." As I was listening to the words that Jesus was saying, it came into my mind that the heart of Jesus was bleeding. And Mary put into my mind all the words of how Jesus was feeling. With Jesus, with his mother by his side, God and Jesus would say to her, Jesus would want his mother to be honoured, to be venerated for her part in the salvation of the world, and to be acknowledged by its people, by her people, that she did that. To dishonour her in such a way as to speak of her as a woman and mother, and not in relation to her divine role, in her participation in the divine mysteries, to deny her place as Jesus wants her beside him, is causing the Sacred Heart of Jesus to bleed. It is hurting that his mother is not being upheld within the Church as she should be. Pope Francis, Mary's words are echoing. Jesus is Mary's son, and he loves his mother. Those words were spilling through my mind as Mary spoke to me. Next day I got up and I was driving to work, and the vision again came to me. Jesus and Mary in high-backed wooden throne chairs, Mary sitting at the right side of Jesus. And Jesus turned to his mother and said, I can do this for you, mother. I can do this. But mother, they want to hear your voice. The people, mother, they need to hear your voice. It is clearly evident that throughout the centuries, Mary had been given, through dogma, exalted status, exalted with Jesus in divinity, in her role as co-redeemer with Jesus in the salvation of all humankind. During the pontificate reign of Pius X, the Marian title co-redemptress received official magisterial approval. So why is Pope Francis rejecting the title of co-redemptress when it has been approved? So what happened, and why is Pope Francis only calling Mary in terms of her humanness? So it appears that with the Second Vatican Council, Mariology began to decline rapidly, where indeed they took a rational approach. And so we see that there has been a decline in the exalted roles, the exalted titles of Mary. We could go so much further into this. But this sheds some light for me on why Pope Francis is not using exalted titles, nor is he emphasizing the divinity of Mary by calling them exaggerated titles. Now, I often wondered why Jesus said to Mary, I can do this for you, mother. I can do this. But mother, the people want to hear your voice. And then I started to think about how Mary is the church, how they call Mary the church, who looks over all the people, all the bishops. And I thought to myself, well, if Jesus is speaking to Mary as the church, then indeed Jesus is saying that the sacredness of the church is being lost. The divinity within it is being lost. The story of the salvation itself of humankind is being lost, not being respected. The sacredness is not being upheld. The church is not moving in the direction that it should be. To take away the essence of Mary's role as Mother of God begs the question, then what is Jesus? If they are saying that Mary is a woman disciple, nothing more, a mother, nothing more. And I realized why Jesus had come. Jesus' heart is bleeding. And Mary put in my mind that if they are doing this to the sacredness of a woman, of the divinity of a woman that did share in the redemption of all humankind, then what chance have I as a woman to answer the Holy Spirit's call to consecrate the Eucharist if they are denouncing, if they are denying the message that Mary received from the angel Gabriel? Yes, Mary has her voice back, Jesus. And I'm certainly very humbled and very grateful to Mary for sharing this with me. But also, if Mary is the church, then God is saying the people within the church must use their voice. Jesus could intercede, but it is the people of the church that must speak out about the lack of sacredness within the church. We are the people of the church. Mary is the mother of the church. And Jesus wants his church to be once again full of sacredness and love for one another. Thank you for listening to me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.